The following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee. Main Street Media proudly welcomes you live to Chattanooga, site of the 2021 Blue Cross Bowl. This is TriStar Friday Night Live, presented by the U.S. Army and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. From Alabama, Chris Yao. We welcome you inside Finley Stadium here in Chattanooga. And good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to the Blue Cross Bowl, a new site, a new venue. We're excited. I'm excited.
New site, new venue, new weather conditions.
That's right. That's right.
What was that you said, Mo? If you'd known new weather came with the new venue, you wouldn't have been mad about this.
Yeah, I would have gotten over it a lot more quickly. That's for sure.
Oh man, we are excited to be here for sure. As we have 3 games today. Division II playing as first up the D2 2A game, a rematch from last year, Lipscomb Academy CPA, followed by DCA Nashville Christian, the 1A game, and then NBA McCallie tonight. So 3 really good games that we are looking forward to seeing tonight.
I am looking forward, especially to this first one. Although, Mo, we were talking about this at 10 o'clock in the morning for our mid-state teams. Trying to play a high school football state championship is certainly not as easy as 11. But I don't think these two teams are going to have any trouble getting up for one another, huh?
No, I don't think getting focused for this ball game will be a problem either for CPA or for Lipscomb. Lipscomb beat CPA 38-0 earlier this year. CPA beat Lipscomb in the state championship game last year. So they both kind of got some scores to settle here in about an hour.
I'm looking forward to it, man. JP, when we were talking about this bracket on Friday Night Live Countdown, we all saw this one coming. I mean, we saw this coming, and I don't think there's any surprise that we are watching Ingle Martin's Lions and Trent Dilfer's Mustangs in this state championship game. I am looking forward to finding, last year Lipscomb won the regular season meeting, right, and then lost in the state championship game. I'm just curious if this is like a Georgia-Alabama situation where, maybe there's a mental block in these state finals games. Should be interesting to see.
I understand your train of thought there, but just looking at the way Lipscomb in particular has gone about its business over the course of the season and in the playoffs, defeating Silverdale by 34 points and Davidson Academy by 35 points in its 2 playoff games, and winning in dominant fashion throughout the regular season. I don't know that there's a mental block necessarily on the Mustang sideline.
Well, they score more points, they give up fewer points, so that's a pretty solid combination.
Generally speaking,
when you're scoring 56.5 points a game, that's getting it done.
Yeah,
and they do it with some really good football players, including Alex Broom, obviously the Boston College commit, and that kid has just been phenomenal all year long.
One of their 2 Mr. Football semifinalists, I believe. I don't remember if both he and Luther Richardson were Mr. Football finalists. I should know that, but I don't. But Luther Richardson, a Cincinnati commit at quarterback, and having seen him against Oakland a few weeks ago, and then having seen Desmond Ritter here in the last few weeks, that's not a bad fit.
Yeah.
I think there's some similarities there, really. It'll be fun to watch him at the next level, I believe.
All right. Well, guys, we want to get to how these teams got here, and this is the Wilson Bank and Trust scoreboard. So how did these 2 teams get here to Chattanooga? Well, we'll start with CPA in the top half of the bracket. They defeated Boyd Buchanan 41-9 in the opening round, then took down CAK 42-7 and Lausanne in the semifinals 56-31. So as we expected, not a whole lot of trouble getting through on that top half of the bracket, guys.
Not at all. I mean, this is, like you said, pretty well expected. I think Lausanne scored a few more points than maybe I expected them to, but obviously, they had plenty of chances because they gave up 56.
Yeah. When you give up 56, you feel a lot of kickoffs.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Lipscomb Academy had the bye in the first round as they were the 1 seed out of the middle division. And then they took down Silverdale 56-7 in round 2 and shut out Davidson Academy 35-0 in the semi. So, again, an easy path for the Mustangs to get to this point, something they've been eyeing since last year at this time of their loss to CPA.
Yeah, Davidson Academy, first time they haven't played for a state title in a long time. Of course, obviously moving up to Division II 2A this year, but that's a really good football team, and they just dominated them.
Exactly.
All right, so there you have it. That's the Wilson Bank and Trust scoreboard and how they got here. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk. We'll get our picks right before we get out of here. We'll get into each game, and then we'll come back and do our picks, guys. So stay with us here. This is TriStar Friday Night Live at the Blue Cross Bowl in Chattanooga, Main Street Prep production. We'll be back after this short timeout.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? What's your name? Where you are right now?
I am Dr. Birdie, the founder. CEO, and president at Home Care Preference. I am a successful African American female entrepreneur in business with Wilson Bank and Trust. With the partnership that I have, the level of my dreams is the limit of that company's success. When there's strong partnership, everything is possible.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
Hey, Toby. Toby knows comfort, whether day or night. Through the highs and the lows, Toby knows. You've put it off long enough. That old system is just out with the old, in with the new. We'll make it worthwhile all the way through. Derryberry is your local independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Visit DerryberryAC.com today and schedule a visit. Derryberry Heat and Air, making customers for life.
TriStar Friday Night Live is brought to you in part by the U.S. Army. In the boots of a U.S. Army soldier, you'll move forward in your career and make a real difference in the world. Find the right fit with more than 150 occupational specialties. Learn more at usarmy.com. And the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, reminding you booze it and lose it. The bad decision to drive drunk will land you in jail. And by Wilson Bank and Trust. Visit wilsonbankandtrust.com for more details. Wilson Bank and Trust, proud supporter of high school sports.
Welcome back in TriStar Friday Night Live here at the Blue Cross Bowl in Chattanooga. JP playing alongside Sundrop Kid from Alabama, Chris Yao, the Hall of Famer over there on the end, not in the corner, on the end, because nobody puts the Hall of Famer in the corner. Mo Patton. We welcome you
at the head of the table.
at the head of the table. He is. We welcome you to Chattanooga. So glad to be here today as D2 on stage. We just went through the 2A game, which will start in about 45 minutes from now at the top of the hour, 11 Eastern, 10 Central. And a rematch from last year's 2A game. CPA won that one. Lipscomb Academy won the rematch of the regular season, so we'll see what happens today. Up next, around 3 o'clock Eastern today, 2 Central will be the D2 1A game, and it will be DCA and Nashville Christian, another rematch from the regular season. This the end of the regular season, and it was a 7-3 type ball game, so we're expecting another close one here for the Gold Ball today.
I'm thinking there's going to be a little bit more offense in this ball game.
Well, the weather will certainly be better than the last time they played. So
no
question.
But yeah, I mean, very similar to the CPA Lipscomb game, in my opinion. I think as we looked at the bracket, we kind of felt like this was where we were going to wind up with these two teams.
You know, neither of these teams have won a Division II state title. Both of them have won 1A championships, back in the last being the 2015 title for Nashville Christian in Class 1A. DCA last won it in 2004. So Donaldson Christian kind of making their way back to prominence here as Davidson Academy moved up in classification.
Well, somebody kind of had to fill that void, I guess,
right,
to some degree. And, Paul Wade, I think, has been recognized across Middle Tennessee and beyond as one of the area's better coaches for a long time. Spent a lot of time with Ricky Bowers over at Ensworth, and now in his 4th season over at DCA, and has done what most people that know him and his career would have expected, getting the Wildcats back to within 48 minutes of a state championship.
I'm looking forward to this one. You got a lot of really good football players playing in this, but these two offenses, as you said, it was a 7-3 game earlier this year. Both teams putting up more than 40 points a game, but the defense is giving up just 14 points for Nashville Christian, and DCA giving up just 11. You really have to find what your opponent's weakness is and exploit it in these type of games. So
and take advantage of it. And you mentioned some really good ball players in this game. Both these teams featuring a D2A Mr. Football finalist, quarterback Bradford Gaines for DCA and running back Josh Strickland for Nashville Christian. So yeah, a lot of talent. Should be a heck of a ball game.
No doubt. Let's figure out how they got there.
Let's do that for sure. So as we go to the Wilson Bank and Trust scoreboard and how these teams got here today in the playoffs, as we take a look at the Division II 1A bracket. First, the top half, DCA. They had a bye as the 1 seed from the middle division. They ended up shutting out Nashville Friendship Christian, 47-0 in round 2, and then took down USJ 42-14 in a game that several thought Jackson might have a chance to get that win.
At least one of us.
At least one, yeah. But DCA handled that easily in that win. So they move on to today's game. Meanwhile, Nashville Christian, the 2 seed out of the middle region, due to their loss to DCA at the end of the regular season, it was Nashville Christian over Lakeway Christian 41-7 in round 1, 35-14 over Jackson Christian in round 2, and then MTCS in the semis, 28-7 the final there to get to this afternoon's game again, 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 Central here in Chattanooga.
DCA has certainly proven themselves to just about anybody who may have thought they weren't going to get here. Now, this is the game we expected. This is exactly what we were hoping for. USJ, just the fact that DCA was able to go and just dominate that team, it shows you how good this DCA team really is. I've been impressed with them all year.
Well,
to Chris's point, because I think USJ was a pick of his early on, and for DCA to take care of them by 4 touchdowns like that just further proves what they're capable of. And on the other side, Nashville Christian beat a really good Middle Tennessee Christian team in the semifinal game. So I think you've got 2 teams that are really worthy of being in this position in the final weekend of the season, and I think it's going to be a heck of a ball game.
All right, we're looking forward to that one for sure. So stay tuned. That is coming up later this afternoon, and when we come back, we'll preview the 3A game tonight and get their picks for the first day of the Blue Cross Bowl. D2 on stage today. Stay with us. We'll be back to Chattanooga and Finley Stadium after this short timeout.
Hey, Toby. Toby knows comfort, whether day or night. Through the highs and the lows, Toby knows. You've put it off long enough. That old system is just out with the old, in with the new. We'll make it worthwhile all the way through. Derryberry is your local independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Visit DerryberryAC.com today and schedule a visit. Derryberry Heat and Air, making customers for life.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Tell me your name, sir. Do you know your name? Do you know where you are right now? 506 by first, 76 now.
I am Dr. Birdie, the founder, CEO, and president at Home Care Preference. I am a successful African-American female entrepreneur in business through Wilson Bank and Trust. With the partnership that I have, the level of my dreams is the limit of that company's success. When there's strong partnership, everything is possible.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
TriStar Friday Night Live is brought to you in part by the U.S. Army. In the boots of a U.S. Army soldier, you'll move forward in your career and make a real difference in the world. Find the right fit with more than 150 occupational specialties. Learn more at usarmy.com. And the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, reminding you booze it and lose it. The bad decision to drive drunk will land you in jail. And by Wilson Bank and Trust. Visit wilsonbankandtrust.com for more details. Wilson Bank and Trust, proud supporter of high school sports.
And we welcome you back to Chattanooga, side of the Blue Cross Bowl. Day 1, Division II on stage today from Finley Stadium. JP Plant, Chris Chiao, Mo Patton here with you on TriStar Friday Night Live, presented by the U.S. Army and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Glad to be here with you. Don't forget, visit MainStreetPreps.com for wall-to-wall booking coverage, however you want to classify it. All 9 games are going to be covered this week by our Main Street reporters, 2 of you, along with Russell Venozzi, Tyler Palmatier. We've got photographers. We got you covered. Like a blanket, right?
In all facets. I mean, and then obviously, after each game, you can catch us right here live.
That's right.
On TriStar Friday Night Live, where we're coming to you with those post game recaps and immediate reactions to what we just saw on the field. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a weekend full of exciting high school football. Mo, it doesn't get better than the Blue Cross Bowl.
It really doesn't. It's just the culmination of a long season. Particularly the last couple of years with everything we've dealt with the coronavirus and that kind of thing, just getting here is a feat.
Yeah.
So happy to see these teams get here and to see them compete one last time on the biggest stage.
All right, let's get into how these 2 teams got here. Wilson Bank and Trust scoreboard as we take a look at the Division II 3A bracket. It'll be NBA and McCallie. We'll start McCallie at the top half of the bracket. They had the bye as the East #1 seed, undefeated, by the way, throughout the season. They took on Father Ryan 42-35 in a tight one. Weren't quite sure how that one was going to end out, but a closer game than many expected, but they get the win. And then they beat Pope Prep 47-7 in the semis to get to today. It'll be NBA as they defeated Baylor in round 2. They also had the bye as a 2 seed, and 35-0 over Baylor in round 2, 42-14 over NBA, over Christian Brothers to get to this game here today, gentlemen.
I invited Russell Venozzi to sit down because eventually I want to get his picks later. So I'm not going to let him off the hook. He's going to have to make some picks. But
okay, yeah, through curl. I don't have a camera on him.
It's okay.
But he's here.
He is.
We'll hear him. Russell, how are you, by the way?
Doing well, fellas.
Yeah.
How are you?
There you go.
Welcome.
So even if you can't see him, you can hear him.
You can hear him.
Right.
Welcome to Chattanooga. All right, so let's talk about this game. McCallie, no shocker, undefeated. Basically a home game for them to some degree. Obviously the heavy favorites. NBA, there were a couple of us in this room, I'm not going to say who, thought Innsworth might be the team here, but since they were knocked out by Baylor, NBA appeared.
I don't think you called NBA either, though.
I did, in fact, call NBA. I was the only one of us who called NBA to be in the state finals.
Well, good.
Good for me, right?
Good for you.
It happens occasionally. Blind squirrels and nuts and all.
You do know something, huh?
I know a
Every
little
once in a
something.
while.
There you go.
Yeah. Now, I'll own up to Innsworth, and their win early against Baylor kind of solidified it for me, I think. And then I think maybe running into Rock Batten at the barbershop the next day probably had something to do with it too. But this NBA team has played some pretty good ball all year, starting with a big win over Ravenwood to open the season. And Marcel Reed, I tell you, this junior class of quarterbacks across the state is going to be fun to watch next year. But he is definitely in that mix. And you're going to see two great quarterbacks going at it tonight, and he and William Riddle, McCallie's Mr. Football finalist. So looking forward to that aspect of it. It always comes back to the quarterbacks, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It really does. I mean, especially in this one, when you're talking about Marcel Reed, I mean, this is a kid who is just phenomenal. He's the reason that I picked NBA to be here, because look, when you're talking about playoffs, it starts with your quarterback. And to me, he's the best quarterback in the mid-state, at least at the 3A level. So, I'm really looking forward to it. I think the fact that McCallie was able to handle Pope Prep 47-7, that's a dominant fashion. But, Father Ryan gave them a pretty good football game. And they, I'm not sure if that was the wake-up call that McCallie needed, or if it was just the fact that, Middle Tennessee Division II football is getting a lot better.
It's a lot better. On that point, Russell, who covers that on a weekly basis, Middle Tennessee football, of course, the editor for Main Street Preps, who joins us, will be part of our coverage all weekend long. You and Tyler have talked about that on your Main Street Preps podcast on a regular basis. There's just a lot of good football going on in Middle Tennessee right now, Russell.
Yeah, and today is great evidence of
Absolutely.
that. I mean, 5 of the 6 teams are from Nashville and Davidson County, and it's been really a banner year for Middle Tennessee in general. But yeah, the Division II talent is incredible, and unfortunately, I think that does take away from some of the public schools in Nashville. That's probably a conversation for another day. But yeah, great quarterback. I think you guys were talking about great quarterbacks in this first game too. You got Cade Law facing off with Luther Richardson. Cade Law has had a great season. He was more of a runner last year, but if you look at his passing stats this year, I think he's got up to 2,400 yards, 25 touchdowns, and CPA, which was really a run-heavy team last year in this game. Really just ran the ball with Langston Patterson and Cade Law the entire game. This year, they've been stretching the field quite a bit. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe how the CPA passing game has come along a little bit, is able to help them keep up, or maybe keep up with
or maybe they
Richardson.
just run it as much as they can to keep it out of the hands of Lipscomb Academy.
Yeah, they could try that too.
Well, let's get right to that game. We'll get our picks here as we're almost done for our daily preview. Again, join us immediately following this game and every game. We will be on just a few minutes following the final horn to react, and our recaps all weekend long brought to you by Dairy Berry Heat and Air. So we're appreciative of that. But let's get to this first game. We'll get our picks. It is CPA versus Lipscomb Academy rematch, part 3, I guess you could say. Chris, who do you like in this one?
Well, it's, I guess, part 4. They played in the regular season last year, too. So,
yeah.
And here's the thing. Both of these teams have been to the state finals 8 times. CPA's won at 5. Lipscomb's only won at 3. I don't think that's going to make a difference today.
Okay.
I got a feeling that Trent Dilfer's going to get it done, and the Mustangs get the win.
All right, Mo?
I think Lipscomb wins this ball game. I just think they've been too powerful over the course of the season to be denied today.
All right, Russell, what do you like in this one?
Yeah,
you've seen them both.
I think Lipscomb Academy's just got too many dudes this year. They are loaded. I do hope, just for the competitive sake, that this game is better than the first time around, and I think it will be. But I've got Lipscomb by 2 touchdowns.
All right. So for what it's worth, I think Lipscomb Academy will win as well. All right. To the 1A game, which will feature DCA versus Nashville Christian, the afternoon game, 3 Eastern, 2 Central. 7-3 DCA got the win in the regular season finale. Who do you like this time around, Chris?
I like the Eagles. I think Josh Strickland is going to be a major player in this one, probably MVP caliber, and I think Nashville Christian gets it done, gets the win in the rematch.
For some reason, I'm agreeing with Chris.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I kind of hate it when that happens. It makes me question things. But, no, I like Nashville Christian in this ball game for much of the same reasons. I think Joshua Strickland's going to be the difference maker for the Eagles in this ball game. I certainly think it will be a higher scoring affair than that regular season game.
Yep. Russell?
Well, I'll mix it up here a little bit, guys. I think DCA is going to pull this one out. Just seems like all season they've been a team of destiny. And when they played Josh Strickland the first time, they held him to 21 yards and 11 carries. So he's going to need a big bounce-back performance if Nashville Christian wants to win this one.
All right. I'm close with you on that, Russell, but I'm going to go with the Hall of Famers mentality about tough beating a team twice the second time around, and I think they were so close the first one. I'm going to flip the script. Nashville Christian, I think, gets the win in that one. All right, we'll get to tonight's game as we talked about it a little bit. McCallie and NBA. Chris, who do you like in this one?
You know, when you watch generic teams on television, it's red and blue, right? Well, we've got the big red and the blue tornado, and for whatever reason, I really like this NBA team, but I just don't think they can beat the powerhouse, the two-time defending state champion McCallie Blue Tornado. It's the hometown team gets it done.
All right.
I think home field is going to make a big deal in this ball game tonight. I think it's going to be an electric atmosphere here. You know, weather-wise, there's no reason for it not to be. I think Chattanooga is going to turn out for the Blue Tornado, and I think they're going to get it done in front of the hometown crowd.
All right, Russell.
Chris, you're giving us mixed signals here on our stat picks. You got NBA winning by a field goal.
I did.
So it's not the first time, Russell, by the way.
It's not.
That's okay.
Listen, on there, I'm still trying to catch up.
Gotcha. So
he's doing is he's covering himself on both
hedging
ends.
his bets.
He's gonna win no matter what.
That's it.
There you go,
Mr. Hedge.
But yeah, for what it's worth, I've got a tight game too, guys. With McCallie pulling it out by a field goal, I think what they did to Pope Prep last week has me a little bit worried, and but I do think it could go either way.
All right. I think McCallie is just too strong, but NBA will make a game. It will be close and a fun one to watch. I tell you, I'm just really looking forward to watching football. I've been cooped up all year on the Scoreboard Show, which has been a lot of fun, and I'm very thankful for it. But I'm really looking forward to seeing some football.
If y'all are watching the games and you see JP just jumping up and down, it's just because he's just happy to actually be.
I'm just happy to be here.
Just happy to be here. I think I've said that at least a dozen times since we got into town late last evening. So we appreciate you all tuning in. Don't forget, immediately following our first game between Lipscomb Academy CPA, we'll have a reaction to that, stats, and more right here on these same social media outlets. For Russell, for Mo, for Chris, I'm JP saying so long, and thanks for tuning in to TriStar Friday Night Live at the Blue Cross Bowl. We'll be back after Game 1. Enjoy the football, and hope you have a great Saturday, everybody. We'll talk to you down the road.
TriStar Friday Night Live is brought to you in part by the U.S. Army. In the boots of a U.S. Army soldier, you'll move forward in your career and make a real difference in the world. Find the right fit with more than 150 occupational specialties. Learn more at usarmy.com. And the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, reminding you booze it and lose it. The bad decision to drive drunk will land you in jail. And by Wilson Bank and Trust. Visit wilsonbankandtrust.com for more details. Wilson Bank and Trust, proud supporter of high school sports.